guys, he's found himself some minutes.
Encore from a triple overtime game. Guys going with velocity under duress at the clock. Russ mishandles it.
Et bonjour à toutes et à tous, on se retrouve aujourd'hui sur NBA 2K19 pour la suite de notre carrière avec notre ailier fort. Alors la dernière fois qu'on s'est quitté, c'était après le match contre les Celtics. Entre temps j'ai joué contre les Suns et on a gagné, contre les Clippers on a gagné, contre les Hornets on a gagné, ensuite on a subi une défaite contre les Wizards et on a gagné contre les Pelicans. Donc aujourd'hui on va partir sur le match contre les Cavaliers, les Rockets et peut-être les Mavericks, on verra bien. Alors niveau stats du joueur, j'ai 2223 en stock, donc je peux augmenter certains points, mais je vais pas le faire tout de suite parce que il y a un petit objectif journalier là, c'est de faire 10 matchs pour prendre 2500 ici, donc je verrai tout à l'heure. Donc du coup c'est parti, on va partir pour le match contre les Cavaliers de Cleveland. On est monté au niveau 67 aussi entre temps, hein. Bon, c'est pas fameux, mais bon.
Do it with my money.
Genre mieux que rien.
What kind of strategy do you have when you're playing unlimited? What kind of players are you using? What's the strategy when you're on offense and defense?
So if someone off-balls me, I'm going straight to Tim Duncan, usually a post spin. Half the time, people can't guard him down low. Most of my offense still comes from the post and a couple of pick and rolls or pick and fades with John Stockton and Diamond Carmelo, Pink Diamond Timmy, things like that.
It seems to be flying under the radar a little bit. You can get some really nice boosts from having a good coach in your squad. So who do you run it as your coach?
I use Dwayne Casey.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show. The always busy and popular East 4th Street here in Cleveland are setting, and David Aldridge is standing by for a pregame report. David, good evening.
Well, guys, Paul George has made a...
Well, you love that versatility, DA. Thank you.
Well, the Cleveland Cavaliers last year won by virtue of their offense. There were times when they're making that three-point shot that they simply could overwhelm people. And let's remember they had...
Now for Cleveland, Channing Fries checked in for Tristan Thompson. Nance comes in for Kevin Love. And it's Jetty Osman in for Rodney Hood. And a new group in here for the Thunder. Nerlens Noel checks in for Adams. AI comes in for Grant. Raymond Felton, he's checked in for Andre Robertson. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Russell Westbrook. So for Oklahoma City right now, they've got AI. Felton is out there with Dennis Schroeder. Then it's Paul George. And it's Noel at the 5 down low.
Boy, Larry Nance Jr. showed last season he can be a productive starter. He has always been efficient and complements a lot of different players.
Well, for Larry Nance Jr., so much of what he brings Doris to a lineup is energy.
Right, Kev. He's an igniter, right? That hustle and coming up with timely plays is what he is known for.
And the Thunder making a change here. Abrinas is checked in. Smith right side. The open look here for Sexton. And it's all evened up. Sexton's got 8 points.
Shots are just flowing from him right now, having a really strong quarter.
There's a screen by Noel. 1:12 left here in the first quarter. Abrinas kicks to AI. Clock at 4. Trying to come right back with the 3 of his own. It's no good. Smith left side. Back to Osman. Cleveland moving the ball around. Oh, Nance in position. The shot by Sexton, no good.
Gets it to very close range, but there was no way the defense going to back off and give him that layup.
Feeds it to Smith. Osman, the tip in on the offensive rebound.
Nice nice tip in there. I mean, he's got like a sixth sense in terms of where the miss is going to go. That is really a talent.
Schroeder passes to Abrinas. Here's Little. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. Cavaliers leading. Now Sexton. A 20-point game for him in the win against Orlando. And it's AI with the rebound.
Just a little hesitation on that release, right? His timing looked a bit off.
Dommage.
And we'll be back with you shortly.
Oh, du coup, fin du premier carton, notre équipe est menée 17-15. On n'a pas fait grand-chose, hein, à part prendre des rebonds.
We have all seen the incredible dunk. Here's what AI.
You know, the funny thing about that is that when it happened,
Yeah, I can only imagine the amount of texts and calls that flooded AI's phone after that dunk. My goodness.
And what's interesting, though, is that he didn't even realize what he had done. Sometimes you just get caught up in the moment of a play, and it isn't until after that you see the degree of difficulty of what you just pulled off.
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And from what we've seen from the Cavaliers, what do you guys see?
They've gotten that perimeter game going in that first, and for me, that was the difference.
It was huge, no doubt, and it seems like they simply can't miss from downtown.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. So on the floor for Cleveland, we've got Zizic. Larry Nance out there with Channing Frye. Then there's Sexton. And it's Osman in at the 2. Well, Doris, we've seen how much organizations set the tone, set the culture from the top on down. What common traits have you seen among successful team owners?
Well, boy, oh boy, so many, I think. Obviously, there has to be some level of financial commitment. You have to be willing to hire good talent. You have to be willing to hire coaches that you believe either developmentally are going to have a bright future, or if you're hiring an experienced coach with championship pedigree, are you willing to... When you think about the Oklahoma City Thunder, you have to start and end the conversation with the historic regular seasons put on by Russell Westbrook. The one thing you have to wonder, has he taken them as far as he can?
That free throw good from Kevin Love. And if you're building a team around Westbrook on paper, Doris, how do you do it?
Well, he's a player, obviously, who needs the basketball in his hands. And if you look at a team like the Rockets, where James Harden is complemented by shooters and a rim runner, you wonder if that's the blueprint for somebody like Russell Westbrook.
Thompson dishes to Love. And that foot good.
Guys, just pure strength from Kevin Love. The defense just not good enough.
The Cavaliers shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game.
Non, c'est pas moi qui ai fait.
And 74% has been the mark for them on the season thus far.
Dennis Schroeder's checked in for Russell Westbrook. Well, Tristan Thompson, someone who has fallen off greatly in production, Doris, the last few seasons.
Right, Tristan Thompson at his best is a guy who scores efficiently, but really his defense and rebounding are what he's got to hang his hat on.
And the rebound battle split evenly thus far.
Took him no time at all on that one. And the Thunder lead by 3.
There's a real knack for understanding when a guy is uncovered, and Paul George's court awareness on display right there. Beautiful.
On the wing, Thompson. He's covered by Noel. And another miss by Cleveland. AI outside. Outside, Felton. Back to AI. Lets it go from 11. That shot misses. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the... We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Zizic has checked in for Tristan Thompson. Frye comes in for Kevin Love. Nancy's checked in for Rodney Hood. And it's Jetty Osman in for Sexton. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. AI comes in for George. So for Oklahoma City right now, Roberson is the 4 with Adams in the middle. And it's Little in at the small forward position. He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, it is the era of positionless basketball, but how exactly did we get here? Well, new defensive rules at the turn of the century encouraged face-up scoring, motion-based offense, and guard play over isolation and post-ups. As a result, offensive roles have become more interchangeable.
It has become a positionless game now. David, thank you very much. Osman, the pass to Zizic. And Fry kicks to Smith. Shot from 12. He can't get it to go. And it's Oklahoma City the other way.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
Adams' shot is good.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
The Cavaliers trail by 14. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And it's blocked by Little, and he recovers it. Nance a screen. Smith for 3. Drills the three-pointer. Smith's got 7 points in the game.
Boy, J.R. Smith can just be deadly coming off a screen like that, guys.
In the corner, it's AI. A three-pointer off the mark.
You know, despite his struggle shooting, they've been successful tonight. He's just not gotten on track.
Here's Fry. And with that one, the lead is trimmed to single digits. Fry's got his first basket of the night. Screen by Adams. The 3. And it's AI missing.
Yeah, you love the solid screen, but what you hate is just the inability to finish.
You know, that's okay, I think. Even though they miss, they still have to be happy with the shot selection.
And here's Fry for 3. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Fry's got his second basket of the night.
And really, Fry's quick release is deadly. He is most comfortable pulling from beyond the arc.
Here's Little. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got 3 assists in the game. The Cavaliers trail by 9. Here's Osman. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. Got a piece of it. Westbrook with the steal. No good. And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder in control with a 9-point lead to end the quarter. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
And, you know, you can always count on him for at least a couple of these pretty assists over the course of a game. And this one, a thing of beauty.
Well, G.A., you know a thing or two about a point guard's job.
Cleveland making a change here. Osman's checked in, and a new group in here for the Thunder. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Nerlens Noel. AI comes in for Jeremy Grant. Roberson, he's checked in for Raymond Felton. And it's Russell Westbrook in for Dennis Schroeder.
And that's one of his strengths, knocking down those long-range jump shots.
Love is the 4 with Thompson in the middle. Then it's Rodney Hood. Then there's Larry Nance. And it's Osman in at the 1 spot. So that's who's on the floor for the Cavaliers.
Well, I think it's always solid execution to get Kevin Love a look on the interior. This guy can score in so many different ways in that space.
AI kicks to Westbrook. AI sets a screen for Westbrook. Kick out to Adams. 6 to shoot. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Shoots a fader. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. AI's got the lead up to 14 now for the Thunder. Love outside. We know James Harden joined Durant and Westbrook in winning league MVP honors. So those 3 stayed together in Oklahoma City. Is there any doubt in your mind that they would have won at least one NBA championship?
Well, you think back to the time they worked together, and they did go to an NBA Finals and ended up being eliminated by LeBron James and the Miami Heat. So obviously, you like the opportunity they would have had to go to more. And let's give a little credit to the great GM of the Oklahoma City franchise, Sam Presti, who is responsible for the drafting of 3 MVP candidates. That in and of itself is quite remarkable. But you know this, Kevin. The success and failure, there is such a fine line. And there's a tenuous nature to things, an injury at the wrong time. So many times this trio was tripped up by an untimely situation. So, I mean, if they stay together, yes, you like their chances, but this is why history states otherwise.
And all the energy has been sucked out of this arena. This is not what the fans came to see.
Well, they took the crowd completely out of this game, and when you get a lead like that, it's sort of deflating for the home crowd. What a solid victory on the road.
Westbrook kicks to Roberson. Over Hood. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. And the Thunder lead by 14.
And that's a killer instinct on display as they try to put this one.
I think that's exactly the mentality you have to have. You don't want to give this team any hope of coming back.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, G, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never...
Il faut vraiment que j'augmente mon niveau quand même parce que là, je suis très mauvais. Stat au shoot à 3 points, elle doit être dégueulasse. Je vais avoir 0 points. Tir extérieur 3 sur 10. 2 sur 7 aux 3 points. 2 sur 7. Mais non, j'en ai mis 3, non? J'ai mis 3 points. Ah oui, non, dans le coin. Ouais, c'était dégueulasse. 1198 quand même qui rentre, ça c'est pas mal. On va devenir titulaire, hein, l'objectif. Très loin. Et il va falloir faire beaucoup mieux quand même. Ah, on a un message. Anthony Davis. Salut Ali, salut Ali. Hey hey. Ok, tu me diras ça. Ouais, parce que quand on a joué contre lui, il voulait me donner des cours de judo. Ok, comme tu veux, passe quand tu veux, mec. On s'en fout. Oh, les gars, c'est n'importe quoi. Bon, allez, comment je dis ici 3461. On va peut-être quand même augmenter. Là où on est le plus mauvais d'ailleurs. 58, 59, 59, là il y a que des 59. Il faudrait déjà augmenter le plus mauvais. Shoot à 3 points. Et tir à mi-distance. Ça fait 3463. Ah! À la loose, il manque 2 VC seulement. Pour augmenter les deux là. Bon, bah on va augmenter les 3 points. Et là aussi, il manquerait que 2 ici. Ah, la bouse. Bon, on va faire ça. Après, il y a le code plus mauvais. On restera à 61 quand même. 3295, ça passe à 63. Allez, soyons fous, mettons un peu de vitesse. Ah, on passe au niveau 68 du coup. Et c'est parti pour le match contre les Rockets.
It's time for some hoops at the Chesapeake Energy Arena, home of the Thunder here in downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And we're going to bring it to you live on 2K Sports. I'd like to welcome you to the NBA. Now it's ended out to David Aldridge, standing by for the sideline.
Well, guys, we know it's been...
Great reporting as always, David. AI really credits Tatum for his development.
Yeah, and, you know, I remember Tatum when he was in the league, a very smart player, and it's nice to see he is guiding others, finding their way in the league.
And with a long season ahead, for the best teams, Chris, you get the feeling they wish the playoffs. Oklahoma City making a change here. AI has checked in. Nene, he's checked in for Houston. Gordon comes in for Marquise Chris. Taking a look at the Rockets. The engine of this team, Paul and Harden in the backcourt. Anthony out there with Gordon. Then it's Nene in at the center. Paul again. It's Westbrook. Now here's Paul. Not a lot of room. And Anthony gets it to go on the assist by Paul. Paul's got his 4th assist in this one.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
In the corner, it's AI. The rebound by Harden.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
I'd love to hear his explanation of Coach right there. I mean, that should be an interesting conversation.
Carmelo Anthony, one of the most formidable scorers ever. Top 20 in points all time in NBA history.
And the Thunder with some changes. Noel's checked in for Steven Adams. Felton comes in for Andre Robertson. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Russell Westbrook. And the Rockets making a change here as well. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for James Harden. Now here's Anthony. He has 5. Inside, Tucker. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. And when you think about Melo's scoring back to the basket, facing up, so versatile as a scorer.
A combination of strength, quickness, and touch that you rarely see. He can go around you, through you, or shoot it right over you.
Under trailing by 14. Felton kicks to AI. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Chris Paul picks up that one. The Thunder shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in the game. Free throw good, AI. The Thunder went into free agency with a lot of question marks, but ended having a big summer.
Able to retain Paul George, and that was the first and largest key. Getting a player like Noel for cheap was also a big help for this group. The Thunder were at a fork in the road last season, but this team now is dangerous as ever. And a quick check of the stats for Schroeder. Good season for him last year. Last season put up about 19 points per, 6 assists and 3 rebounds. And you like what he brings backing up the point guard.
Yeah, no doubt. He knows how to run this offense. Tremendous asset to this team coming off the bench.
For Oklahoma City, they have made 3 of their first 5 foul shots tonight.
And 72% on the year. I'm sure they'd like to improve that category.
Well, a high-octane offense in Houston, that's been a staple for any of Mike D'Antoni's teams. The Rockets, they do it a little differently. ISO ball, half court, threes, get out and run. They get buckets.
Here's Gordon. That one a little long.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backcourt.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. The Thunder with another miss. And here's Ennis. And stolen by AI. And so it's Houston up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. The defensive work they've done against Paul George has been a big...
12 points de retard, c'est pas la fin du monde, c'est faisable de remonter ça.
And the Rockets came close, but Chris Paul still convinced this team has what?
I'm in the wrong business if I didn't think we could.
And the Thunder going with the whole new group out there.
And Eric Gordon, the 2017 Sixth Man of the Year award winner. I mean, he has found a home and just been tremendously productive with the Rockets.
And that one misses. And Gordon also the winner of the 2017 three-point shootout. His long-range proficiency, a great fit on the Rockets.
You know, he's got that low set shot release, but man, he gets it off with great volume and one of the more prolific three-point shooters in our league.
And so in the game for the Rockets, over on the wings, it's Harden paired with Melo. Chris is out there with Clint Capella, and it's Paul in at the point guard position.
He's going to finish his career way up there on the all-time steal list. That's one thing I know about CP3.
In the corner, it's AI. Sinks the triple. We've got 1:13 left in the first half. Paul kicks to Capella. Pass to Chris. Capella sets a screen for Chris. Softly drops in the floater. Chris has got 6.
And this is where Chris does a considerable amount of damage. Feels comfortable taking those interior shots.
They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe.
A tough start scoring the basketball, but they're starting to turn it around now. And Steven Adams came into this league at 19 already a physical specimen and has only gotten stronger. Just a bruising presence down low.
There's a screen by Chris.
Really good rebound in traffic. That's what the big fella's there for.
They're trailing by 10. AI outside. And it's Westbrook. That time on the assist by AI. 7 points for Russell Westbrook.
And it's the fearlessness of Westbrook. It's really refreshing to watch. When he's deep inside, he just goes right at you.
Here is Harden. He's got 8. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Harden.
Cheap turnover. You got to make sure your target's ready for the pass before you let it go.
Westbrook with it. 3-pointer. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And so it's the Houston Rockets holding on to an 8-point. All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter. And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. It's been a clinic night. With a big group substitution here. Nene, he's checked in for Capella. PJ Tucker comes in for Marquise Chris. Green, he's checked in for Carmelo Anthony. And it's Gordon in for James Harden. Felton is out there with Dennis Schroeder. Then it's AI. And there's Nerlens Noel. And it's Abrinas in at the 3, the small forward. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. That's tipped and stolen by AI. And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's on Nene.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
The Thunder have gone 5 of 8 from the charity stripe here tonight. Big-time scoring is always a premium, Chris, when you're evaluating players on the offensive side. What do you hope to find as you kind of break down their game?
I hope to find that you can dribble, shoot, and pass. Because if you can do those things and you're a great scorer, then I know that if you get double teamed, you can find an open man. That if you have the heart of an unselfish player, that you really how to set someone else up. Now, struggling as a great player can always get their own. And also on the offensive side of the ball, are you careless? Or do you value possessions? Do you make easy turnovers? And if you do make a turnover in the offensive end, what is your temperature like defensively? Do you run back and get back and try to get a stop? What type of player are you overall? Great offensive players are result-oriented, not necessarily seeking individual numbers or claims. And that's a big part of my evaluation.
Pass to Tucker. And it's Noel with the rebound. Noel's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Here's Little. That shot, no good. And it's Houston the other way. They've led by as many as 14 points. And going against Oklahoma City, their first meeting of the year.
Yeah, and they're hoping for a better showing against this club this season. Last year, they came out on the losing end.
Here's Paul. The Rockets with another miss.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
Felton kicks to George. Offline with his three.
Look, it would be a huge boost for them if he could start knocking these down.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Passes it to Tucker. From past the arc, it's good from long range. Tucker's got his third basket of the night right there. Under trailing by 9. AI right side. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder.
And that's how you answer back.
Trading bombs the last 2 possessions. They're going after him.
The pass to Paul. Over Schroeder can't connect from 13 feet out. And so it's the Houston Rockets with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. A good size advantage, and they'll look to increase it. We've got more. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the floor generalship right here? I mean, showing us why they're always in good hands. He's the man in charge.
Great vision. He's a gifted passer. Has his finger on the pulse of this offense.
And thanks for joining us again as the fourth quarter of play is set to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. Taking a look at the Rockets. Harden and Gordon, the guard tandem. At the 4, it's Melo, with Capella playing in the middle. And it's Ennis in at the 3.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
Harden the pass to Carmelo. That one wide left.
That's giving him too much space. It doesn't hurt them.
And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts. And
Ah, le coach il m'a sorti. Ah, mais quel con ce coach. Il fait rentrer à 2 minutes de la fin. Maintenant, on est mené 65-65.
Right wing.
Alors qu'avec
Shoots a
notre terrain, on
three.
était revenu à 1 point.
Here's Adams. Good on the shot. And that shaves the lead.
Vraiment une chance, le frère.
Adams has got 7 points here in this quarter.
Nice work to get in position for the rebound
Ah,
and the
franchement, on
putback.
était revenu
He
à 1
has no
point.
off switch.
Là, une chance.
Harden outside.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Down low. And George with the stuff.
Absolutely the prettiest play in basketball, executed to perfection.
I don't think you'd get an argument there. Everybody loves the alley-oop. And that unleashed chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Upper Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play.
And once Chris gets the position he wants, he is throwing it down with a vengeance.
Here's Little. And a miss there on the triple.
Well, look, his teammates are going to stop giving him the ball if he keeps taking shots like that.
Paul kicks to Capella. Back to Paul. Houston moving the ball around. Here's Robertson. AI outside. And it's off from three-point range. Rockets have got a pretty good rhythm going offensively, shooting 8 of 15 for the quarter. And now here's Chris. He's guarded by AI. And there's the foul. It'll go on AI. That's foul number 2 for him. And a new group getting ready for Oklahoma City. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Adams. Alex Abrinas comes in for George. Raymond Felton, he's checked in for Roberson. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Russell Westbrook. And a switch here also for Houston. Anthony's checked in.
Tremendous effort here on the road. That plane ride home is going to be sweet.
Well, I don't care how good you are. It's tough to succeed in a hostile environment. They're doing it in style.
The shot's good. And the Rockets lead by 13.
And leaving nothing to chance here on this game-clinching run.
Yeah, that offense shifted into high gear. I love the attack.
Al Paul. Pass to Chris. That's good from Chris.
Young, rangy big man. Chris possesses a nice skill set, and I think the potential to be a terrific player in our league.
Now that's what I call cool under
Ouais,
fire.
pas il me l'a donné plus vite.
Those should be the nails in the coffin.
So we see Houston taking the
J'ai perdu
W
6
here.
ballons, sérieux? Ben non. Ballon perdu 0. Qu'est-ce qu'il me raconte lui?
A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time GA this one won.
Bon, bah défaite, hein. Ça y est. Équipe de merde, coach de merde surtout. Joueur de merde que je suis avec mes 3 points à la con. Sur 13 aux 3 points, oh la vache. J'ai fait n'importe quoi. Ouais, c'est pas grave.
I think Clay got a faster release though.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Debatable.
On se fait descendre, je parie. Ah, il a fait perdre le Thunder ce soir, on n'ira jamais qu'on continue à tirer. Mal. Tu m'étonnes. Ah, punaise. Bon, allez, on va essayer de se reprendre contre les Mavs. J'ai combien d'ici, moi? 1377. On va améliorer notre map? Non. Non plus. On va améliorer la stade de gun, ça ne servira à rien pour le moment. Mais pour l'instant, ça ne sert à rien. Peut-être les rebonds. Interception. On est à 70. C'est déjà. Contre. Ah, peut-être les contres, ce serait préférable. Où est-ce qu'on est le plus mauvais? Force. Accélération. On gagnerait qu'un petit point. Force, on gagnerait qu'un petit point. Ah, pareil. En fait, on gagne pas grand chose. Hein. Ah, ce serait là qu'il faudrait mettre, mais on n'a pas fait. On va mettre un peu de force parce que ça semble un peu mou, mon joueur. C'est une quiche. C'est une quiche, mon joueur. T'as pas de force dans les bras. Bon, allez, c'est parti. On va jouer contre les Mavericks de Dallas.
First, it's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal
Bon,
and Kenny
faire un gros
Smith.
match ce coup-ci.
The action tonight will be happening out in Dallas.
Allez, c'est parti. En plus, on joue chez eux.
We've got basketball action at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, the home of the Mavericks, live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brett Barry. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sideline. Checked in for Grant. One of the interesting storylines of this young season, Brett Barry, the surprising early development of a couple rookies in the league.
Early development of rookies is a great thing for a young team because all of a sudden somebody's taking the reins. And I think coaches always appreciate when a rookie comes in, he does the work in the offseason, all that work starts to pay off. But now rookies tend to start looking towards somebody else, or the team starts looking towards that young player as somebody who may be able to handle and carry the weight of the franchise for a little while.
Taking a look at the Thunder, Robertson and George fill out the wings. Adams is out there with AI, and it's Westbrook in at the point guard position.
They've been beating them to a lot of loose ball and rebounds here to start.
And they cash in right away with the quick shot.
Well, he's edge of your seat material out in transition. Westbrook is equally adept at pulling up for the shot or taking it to the rack.
Adams against Jordan. Nobody near Barnes. Adams has had a chance to tie it there. The Thunder leading by 3. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Rick Carlisle gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. This is the first meeting of the year between these two teams, but he said those guys are tough to deal with when you let them get to the rim. We've got to move our feet on defense and do our best to deny penetration. We'll see who comes out on top, Kevin.
Okay, David, thanks. He kicks to Nowitzki to the right side. Just 5 on the clock. Nowitzki sets a screen for Doncic. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
And just clever at creating space off the screen. Doncic is someone you can't afford to lose sight of in these situations.
In the corner, it's AI. Expanding his range. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts. There's 48 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Smith. He's coming off a 10-point game against Utah. Finds the hole for the second time from the floor. Now 2 for 5.
Working on his interior game, Smith Jr. is very aware he has what it takes to score from there.
In Westbrook, here we go. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, how about the body control on that one? Narrowly misses getting the deuce.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. The free throw drops for Russell Westbrook.
Just how fierce a competitor Russell Westbrook is. He just lays it all out there on the line every single night.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Measuring, he's checked in for Jordan. Powell comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. Matthews, he's checked in for Barnes. And Barea subbed in for Dennis Smith. Barea kicks to Measuring. Here's Doncic. Rejected by Little. And so it's Oklahoma City with a 6-point lead at the end of the
on a une indication. On va passer tout de suite à la suite.
The leadership of Russell Westbrook is so important to the team. And
he's doing just an unbelievable job at just...
Mavericks will go for a different look here. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Measuring. Nowitzki comes in for Dwight Powell. Harrison Barnes, he's checked in for Doncic. And it's Dennis Smith in for Matthews. And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point.
And you look at J.J. Barea and how he's played over the years, has always been a spark plug for a team off the bench. It just plays with energy and creativity no matter the situation.
So for Oklahoma City right now, Westbrook and Robertson, the backcourt. Paul George is out there with AI. And it's Adams in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Barea, the pass to Smith. Drills it from outside. Smith's got the lead, back up to 1 now for the Mavs. And with Barea and what he brings to the table, Greg, he also takes care of the ball.
A lot of guards who are bench threats can get a little sloppy or careless with the ball. And Carrière has been upping his assists and cutting his turnovers the last few seasons. Still finding ways to be effective even after a decade in the league. And he shows us all what the breakaway rim was invented for.
Can you believe he almost brought the whole thing down by hanging on that long? Oklahoma City moving it around. They'll get another chance. AI kicks to George. George gets a screen from Little with the fadeaway. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot. AI's got 8 points.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
To the inside. So the whistle blows on the shot. 2 free throws for the contact right there. You know what, Greg? There may not be a more likable superstar in the NBA than Dirk Nowitzki. I mean, everyone loves Nowitzki.
And a large part of that is just Dirk plays the game with a smile on his face, it seems, at all times. His play style is one that is hard to root against, having so much skill in the body of a 7-footer. And it's one thing to be respected by everybody. It's another to be loved by everyone and everybody. He's one of a kind.
And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball.
C'est pas là que je voulais faire la passe. Qui m'a fait là? Entre deux, j'en ai jamais fait, donc je sais pas si je vais y arriver.
So it's the Mavericks now. Mavericks leading by 3. Smith outside. Barnes screen on Westbrook for 3. Smith under with the rebound. And this is the first time they've matched up with the Mavericks this year.
And although they were the better team last year by overall record, this was a competitive matchup for them.
Stolen by AI. Fires it up. And Westbrook gets it to go on the assist by AI. And that's 10 points for Russell Westbrook.
Well, there are guys that stop on a dime and shoot, but Russell stops and rises up. No way to challenge him there.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here. And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first. New group getting ready for Dallas. Measuring, he's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Kai Powell comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. Wesley Matthews checked in for Barnes. And Berea subbed in for Smith.
On sort de la mi-temps, on mène d'1 point et on revient.
That free throw good from Doncic. Dallas doing everything they could do to accelerate their rebuilding process this past summer, Greg. They made a lot of moves.
You know, trading up for Doncic sends the message they want to compete now. Brought in DeAndre Jordan to shore up the center spot. Mavs definitely accelerated to where they feel they can compete for a playoff spot.
Doncic and Matthews, the 2 and the 3. Powell is out there with Measuring, and it's Berea in at the point. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. To the paint. Offensive rebound. AI left side. Lets it go from deep. It's rebounded by Doncic. Dallas leading by 7. Matthews into the lane. Good that time. Now Oklahoma City takes it the other way. Tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played.
Yeah, and some of that loss was due to a lack of hustle, especially on the defensive end.
And there are games where an opponent gets aggressive. You've got to raise your level of play. They failed to do that in this one.
Thunder trailing by 7. Out to the right wing. Schroeder outside. To the inside. Here's Little. That's all good, and that's his 5th basket of the game. He's shooting 5 for 11 now.
And so far going for more of an inside presence here in the second half, getting away from the 3-point shot.
Berea against Schroeder. Matthews, no one around him. It's good. Great play set up by Berea. Berea's got his 3rd assist on the night. There's the screen. AI outside. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. It's 9 seconds to break the shot clock ending. And there's the foul. It'll go on AI. That's foul number 2 for him. And the Thunder making a switch here. George is checked in. It's Powell on the wing. He's guarded by AI. Dallas moving the ball around. Felton against Matthews. 6 on the shot clock. Over Felton. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
And that's really just not heads-up basketball. Don't try a fadeaway when nobody's guarding you.
And that one's good. Schroeder.
Trying to get more confident shooting from the interior. Schroeder wants to keep adding some elements to the offensive end of his game.
And that one is off. And so it's the Dallas Mavericks.
6 points de
with
retard à
their
la fin du
lead
troisième
standing at.
carton. J'espère que le coach il va me laisser ce quatrième carton là, parce qu'il commence à m'énerver.
And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assists of the game.
And how about the floor generalship right here? I mean, showing us why they're always in good hands when he's the man in charge.
Great hands, great vision. That makes great things happen for your offense.
All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. Okay, now let's reset our lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this fourth quarter. So for Oklahoma City right now, we've got Dennis Schroeder. AI is out there with Paul George. And then there's Steven Adams. And it's Westbrook in at the 1 spot. Here's George. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. George has got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Thunder. Westbrook against Berea. Jordan the screen. No good from outside.
Well, it's like the defense has a bunch of matchbooks in their hands right now, playing with fire. We were fortunate that somehow he misfired on that one.
George, no good.
Credit the defense, wisely avoiding fouling the shooter. Don't want to give up a personal there. And he made an attempt a difficult layup. I don't know what happened there. That was an easy 2 points that he just threw away.
Here's Schroeder. It's good. Only a few seconds into the shot clock.
Schroeder continuing to build his confidence, shooting the ball from the perimeter. I'd like to see him square up and sink those J's.
Nowitzki with the screen on Westbrook to the paint. That's good from Nowitzki. And the assist by Berea. Berea's got 4 assists in the game.
And you don't want to allow too many of those short ones with the game right now in the balance.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
And sometimes you just want a reminder.
So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
Au moins l'équipe elle a gagné quoi. Elle a bien assuré dans les 3 minutes 40 qui restaient. Ah, ça y est, sniper en profondeur, on a débloqué la signe. Ça aussi, il faudrait peut-être que je fasse les entraînements pour débloquer les insignes. J'ai pas trop envie de faire les entraînements. Les entraînements, il faut des trucs de tête. Objectif carrière en cours, atteindre les top 10 des vets All-Star à votre poste. Donc maintenant on devrait être titulaire, on a atteint l'objectif. Oh, par contre, je sais pas ce qui s'est passé sur mon personnage, mais il a un côté où il y a de la barre blanche. Il y a un bug là, c'est pas possible. Ouh, 5000 personnes. Non, c'est des femmes. Je peux essayer de
Big win, fellas. Man, that was on fire.
C'est quand même un bon match.
Keep it up.
Ok, donc du coup, combien j'ai d'ici 1558. Bon, on verra ça plus tard. Du coup, moi je vais m'arrêter là pour cette vidéo. Je vous dis à bientôt pour des prochains matchs. Et je pense que les prochains matchs, ce sera les Warriors. Les Cavaliers peut-être. Et les Bulls, je sais pas. Bon, enfin, je verrai. En tout cas, je vais m'arrêter là pour cette vidéo et je vais continuer un petit peu à avancer, histoire d'augmenter mon niveau, que ce soit plus plaisant. Sur ce, je vous dis à bientôt. Salut à tous!